Okay, so we are here making a plan, and if you're looking at the standard here, you need to be able to, introduce that topic. We're not introducing it yet, but you are planning that topic because you need to start figuring out how are you going to group your information, how are you going to research it, okay? What sections will you have? So your overall topic is here. Mine is guppy fish, and now you're going to create some categories, some sections, some subsections, subtopics to actually dig deeper about guppy fish or whatever, basketball or whomever you're actually talking about. So if you are looking at this topic and you're like, okay, so guppy fish, what do I learn or teach or find out about guppy fish? Well, this is where you're going to have to start going in and probably go to the internet and probably start to dig around. So if you're looking here, I went ahead and I typed in guppy fish here into my Google browser, and I just kind of did just guppy fish because I just wanted to see kind of what came up. And sometimes if you're trying to figure out, okay, what kind of categories, what sort of things can I learn about guppy fish, Wikipedia is a good place to start because it just gives you a place to go. Now, if you look at this, you can see that, hey, these could all be, this is guppy, that's your topic. That's my topic, guppy. Now, hey, here's a whole bunch of things that I could talk about guppies and teach you 3 facts about something. So this is a subtopic. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, or actually I would have to say 7 subtopics. 7 of them. Okay? All sorts of things. 7. I just have to pick a couple of them. Okay? I could talk about what taxonomy is, kind of where they come from, what kind of guppy names do they have, distribution and habitat, where do they live in the wild, description, life cycle, like how do they live, all sorts of different things. How do you care? And if you go back, here on the website here, you also have care here. So how do you take care of a guppy? So yeah, this is all good stuff about guppies. Okay, so categories, you're gonna have to really think about, oh, how do I teach about guppies? You're going to have to come up with subcategories. So if you're doing dogs, you might want to go breeds of dogs, training your dog, and health care, care of your dog. So those are 3 things that you could really teach about guppies. Okay, if you wanted to say all about guppy fish, there's the Wikipedia, care guide, there's lots of different things, like different categories. What do guppies, what water is best, what do guppies, all sorts of things here. So these titles right here, those are subtitles about your big category guppies. Okay, so I think that if I'm going to learn about guppies, kind of like dogs, I want types of guppies. So types of guppies. Okay. Care of guppies. So I want to know how to care for them. Care of the guppies. And so the care of the guppies is probably like feeding and changing their tank and what kind of tank they'll have, types of guppies, what do they look like, what else do I want to know about guppies? Guppies in the wild. Because guppies are not all just types of guppies sold. I'm going to put down here types of guppies sold. Types of guppies you can buy. And then guppies in the wild. Because I want to make sure that those are totally different categories. Like types of guppies you can buy, and then guppies in the wild, because they're two different things. Don't lump them together. You could probably buy wild guppies. I'm not going to deny that. They could be maybe a type of guppy you could buy, but I'm actually going to separate them out because normally you probably won't buy the guppies in the wild because the way I understand it, they're not very pretty. So most people probably wouldn't buy the guppies from the wild. Just saying, but I do want to learn about guppies in the wild. So types of guppies you can bear, actually, maybe I would do this instead. History of guppies. I can change that a little bit, because just like guppies, like history of the guppy, because guppies came from wild guppies, and how did they get there? How did these guppies that were swimming around in little ponds and lakes and puddles, how did they become these guppies that you can put in your fish tank? So I'm kind of curious about that. And then I'm also curious, like, what are the guppies that I could go buy? Are there lots of different types of guppies? Like lots of different types of cats, lots of different types of dogs. And then how do you really take good care of your guppy? So those are 3 subtopics that I am going to categorize all my fact searching for. So, types of guppies, the care of my guppies, and kind of how did guppies come about? You know, the history of guppies is kind of what I'm looking for here. So, now that I have my 3 topics, this shouldn't take you very long. If you notice, if you go down to writing your thesis paragraph, then some of this stuff is already starting to flesh in magically. Your thesis statement is starting to appear before your very eyes, which is exactly what I want you to do. So I'm helping you do some of the hard work by having you and again, you can change any one of these dark green boxes. That's perfectly fine. But don't change this white box up here, because if you decide at the last minute that, hey, I don't want to do guppies, I want to do, dogs, or I want to do bicycling, well, change it here. Go back to your topic ideas and change your favorite topic idea. Change what you choose. And so if you say, oh, I want to do bicycles, instead, watch how that changes everything else. So then bicycles here, well then you don't want to talk about guppies down here, so you're going to have to change these guys here. So, bike brands of bikes. You could say types of styles of cycling, of bicycling. Because the style is like road, BMX, mountain biking, cyclocross, all of these different types of bicycle styles, types, and then bicycle races. Because there's lots of different bicycles. And then if you go over here and you look, then all of a sudden everything changes. Everything changes. So change the green only. So if you change the greens, then things in the future will change, just so that you are aware of that. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and change this back to guppies. And I got to change, you know, types of guppies you can buy in a pet store. Okay. Care. How to care for your guppies. And then the history history of guppies. Alright, so there you go. I now have changed my topic again back, just showing you how to do that, and you are going to move on to your thesis. I'll see you there, and I'm really excited to see exactly what you are coming up with. Alright, see you soon. Questions, let me know. I will be around.